National correspondent Alana Austin. She's been following it all. She joins us live from Capitol Hill. Alana, good morning.
Hi, Sean and Emma. Good morning to you all. Now, Vice President J.D. Vance said the longer that Hakeem Jeffries, the House Democratic leader, goes on for, that it is a form of, in a way, backfiring for the body. That he is saying he heard from a hesitant Republican member of Congress, said he wasn't quite sure where he was going to vote. And now, in light of this, he is a firm yes. Now, we're told Jeffries could go on potentially for another 45 minutes. He has been railing on this bill, saying it'll be a disaster for the sick and the needy in this country. But we know this is wearing on the members. Even Ohio Democratic Representative Marcy Kaptur has been seen sleeping behind Jeffries. House Republicans, they are saying that the other side of the aisle is not telling the truth. They're mischaracterizing the bill and overlooking key wins for hardworking Americans. Here's GOP Majority Leader and Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise.
And you can say billionaires all day long, but you know what the new tax cuts in this bill are? Because there are new tax cuts. For the waiter and waitress who's working maybe 2-3 shifts at a restaurant, at a diner, barely getting by. That's the new tax cut that we're putting in this bill. And so you would say, well, then how could the other side possibly vote against that? But, Mr. Speaker, they are. And maybe a focus group told them that if they curse enough and if they say billionaires enough, those families will forget what's actually happening. But they're not going to forget because they're paying attention.
Democratic Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin was speechless. He was stumped when asked about that provision, where he stands on no taxes on tips.
No taxes on tips, which is part of this bill, for working people who work on a tipped wage. Do you support that?
You know, I haven't looked seriously at it because I haven't thought they were serious about it.
Well, remember, the bill advanced when the House rule vote was approved 219 to 213. Yes, that vote happened in the middle of the night around 3:20. That's when we saw a number of the holdouts flip to advance the bill forward. That was a critical breakthrough, of course, for the president and for supporters of the bill. And here are some of the key votes we're watching, and we will hear reactions from in the coming hours and days. Josh Burkeen of Oklahoma, Eric Burleson and Bob Onner of Missouri, Keith Self and Chip Roy of Texas, Scott Perry of Pennsylvania, and Andy Harris of Maryland, the House Freedom Caucus chair. Well, as you mentioned there, Emma and Sean, I know of one member of Congress who has a flight scheduled at 11 a.m. Remains to be seen if he will make it. Members have been finding interesting ways to pass the time. We've heard of singing from one member presiding over the floor overnight. We know the floor was kept open for many, many hours as they were wrangling and trying to get all the GOP lawmakers on the same page. And also Michael Baumgartner, a Washington Republican, he went for a late night or early morning run, depending on the timing there. So they are excited. We're seeing a buoyancy of the GOP caucus at this point. And one member has described to me in a text message, Hakeem Jeffries, this is a form of torture at this point, Sean and Emma.
Yeah, a lot of things going on social media as well. Alana Austin, thank you so much. As you take a live look there, Minority Leader for the Democrats, Hakeem Jeffries, going on his more than 3 hours now, having what I'm calling his Cory Booker moment. Just wondering if it does actually go on that long. It was Vice President J.D. Vance who put out on X that he got a text from a Congress member that said he was a no. He's voting yes on the bill because of this stunt by Hakeem Jeffries. They want to get out of there, and this filibustering has caused one of the no votes to switch to yes when they actually do get to vote.
Information, truth is freedom, is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.